then the reality kicks in. And the bottom line is that both of them aren't in their prime, but if they both want to do it, it's not going to be for the money. They both have enough money never to have to do anything again.
Agreed.
And their subsequent generations will never have to work. So although they're going to get...
Although you can spend 100 million quid, I'm living proof of that.
Just don't buy a football club.
But the money isn't the reason. The money isn't the reason to make the fight. The reason to make the fight now is, over the years, they probably both overplayed their positions when talking about making that fight. There was always a bit of one-upmanship, that one had the advantage, then the other had the advantage at the negotiating table. But while that was going on, they were still making this phenomenal amount of money elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, well now, that well has dried up a little bit, and we're left talking about, are they going to fight? Past their sell-by date, possibly, but still in an immense event that's going to generate significant money, certainly enough for them to be happy with, and go and have more experience, develop your legacy, and actually see, were you the better one or was he?
Anthony Joshua ignites Fury by claiming Tyson Fury is running scared from their long-awaited showdown.
When I'm in the gym, in the local gym, everyone's asking me. And the reason why I decided to do some interesting stuff is because, look, I ain't got many years ahead of me. You know, I've had more years behind me, I haven't got that many in front of me. So what I want to do is leave the game with a bang and make an impact. Be outlandish, great character, have fun with it while we're doing it, and go for the big fights. Tyson Fury is one of them.
AJ didn't mince his words when asked about Tyson Fury's latest retirement claim. The former two-time heavyweight champion dismissed Fury's announcement, suggesting the Gypsy King is simply avoiding the inevitable, a long-awaited showdown with him. Joshua's comments sparked fresh excitement and controversy in the boxing world, with many believing this fight, nearly a decade in the making, might still finally happen.
I spoke to Spencer Brown, Tyson's manager, earlier today, and we know how influential Spencer Brown is with many fighters, and he believes that the fight will happen inside the next year. He said he believes. Tyson hasn't committed to it yet, Spencer, but I think he's seen Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. fighting last weekend. He's felt the kind of the draw again of the crowds and the noise and the ambience, and he's thought, I'm just going to put a little feeler out there. I don't know if Sugar Hill Steward's getting him in shape for being England manager at the UNICEF game, but that may be the start of him going, do you know what, come over, Sugar, I want to start getting in shape again. And one other thing, I've heard that Anthony Joshua sent a couple of DMs their way just to test the waters. Very interesting.
Joshua and Fury have long been linked, with their rivalry dominating British boxing headlines for years. But after Fury suffered back-to-back defeats to Alexander Usyk in 2024, speculation reached a fever pitch that the long-delayed bout might actually be set for 2025. That hope was abruptly shaken when Fury declared his retirement from the sport in January, stating that he had nothing left to prove and no reason to continue fighting.
Hi everybody, I'm going to make this short and sweet. I'd like to announce my retirement from boxing. It's been a blast. I've loved every single minute of it, and I'm going to end with this. Dick Turpin wore a mask. God bless everybody. See you on the other side. Get up!
Fury's retirement wasn't taken seriously by much of the boxing community. At 36 years old with a 34-2-1 record and 24 knockouts, Fury still has the physicality and reputation to draw major fights. Adding to the doubt were rumors of him quietly returning to training, bolstered by a video clip showing him alongside his former trainer Sugar Hill Steward. In the video, Fury playfully hinted at a possible comeback, telling fans, "You know what's coming," before Steward chimed in with, "You know what time it is."
Just in the gym. Happened to bump into somebody you might know. We back.
I got it. You know what time it is.
You know what's coming.
However, Fury publicly insisted he remains retired. Speaking from Monte Carlo, he emphasized his contentment outside the ring. He reflected on winning 22 belts and stated he had no intention of returning to get his face punched in again. Despite his statements, few believe this will be the last the world sees of Fury. His track record of retiring and unretiring has made fans skeptical, especially when massive money is still on the table. None more enticing than a mega fight with Joshua.
Another tough run done there in the bay, in the warm heat. Woo! As I got sweat on. Yes. Nice little 6 miler completed. Good up.
While Fury remains non-committal, Joshua has been recovering from an elbow injury and undergoing minor surgery, sidelining him temporarily. Despite the setback, his promoter Eddie Hearn confirmed Joshua will be back in the ring before the end of 2025, with or without Fury. Hearn emphasized that they're ready for the fight and are just waiting for Fury to give the green light. If Fury remains silent, Joshua will move forward with another opponent.
Have you heard from Tyson Fury's people yet about a possible fight with AJ, even a phone call or a text?
No. And that's on. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've spoken about the hope of the fight, the possibility of a fight, but we've never had a conversation about dates or terms or anything like that. And you know what, Andy, to be honest with you, when they get to that size, like the fighters, it's probably like a DM from Tyson Fury to AJ to say, do you want to do it? You know, I think they're big enough. Like, I don't think it's going to be me reaching out to Frank Warren or Spencer Brown saying, "Come on, guys, you know, try and convince Tyson Fury." He's his own man. He's always
that's a good point.
Decisions. And I think it's more like him just going one day, just sitting on the sofa, you know, just taking the rubbish out of the dogs for a walk, and thought, "Do you know what? We need to give the British public what they've always wanted and make the biggest fight ever."
Hearn has grown more optimistic about the fight becoming a reality, especially now that both men are without titles and past rivalries between promotional camps have cooled. Hearn even noted that it could now take just one phone call to seal the deal. He believes that with their shared status as global boxing stars, there's no longer any need for title belts or long negotiations. The time, he says, has never been better.
I think it's the biggest fight in boxing. Tell me a bigger fight in boxing. It's impossible to tell me a bigger fight in boxing. So it's the biggest fight in boxing. Is it as big as it once was? Maybe not. Still the biggest fight in boxing by a mile. So yeah, if the horse has bolted, then don't know. I'll be surprised.
Adding further fuel to the fire, legendary heavyweight Mike Tyson recently chimed in on the potential clash, calling it a beautiful opportunity for both fighters to wrap up their careers with a blockbuster bout. Tyson pointed out that despite both men suffering recent losses, a Fury versus Joshua fight would still be a massive event. He said the fight would be beneficial for both, financially and in terms of legacy.
And who do you think's gonna win between Joshua and Fury?
Listen, I think, I really think, I like that, you know, I love fucking Josh, but I think this Tyson's too elusive. He's not gonna hit him. Listen, we keeping it honest, right? I like Joshua. I like Joshua a lot, right? He don't punch, maybe he punch harder than what's the other guy? The black guy, Wilder. He doesn't punch faster than Wilder. If he doesn't punch faster than Wilder, he's not gonna this guy. And that's just what I see. He punches hard, but he doesn't punch fast. If Tyson Fury can get away from Wilder's fast punches, Joshua might be in trouble.
While opinions on who would win vary, there is a growing sense among fans and experts alike that now is the moment for the British duo to finally settle their differences. However, former world champion Carl Froch has made his stance clear, and it's anything but kind to Joshua. Froch, reflecting on AJ's knockout loss to Daniel Dubois last September, didn't hesitate to label Joshua as finished. He said Fury would easily defeat him, calling it a safe and easy win. Froch believes Fury's natural talent, ring IQ, and recent performances, even in losses, make him the clear favorite.
Am I that bothered if Tyson Fury never steps in the ring with Anthony Joshua? I'll be honest, no. AJ's been flattened and ironed out a few times. We've seen him lose against Ruiz, lost his soul, never regained it, did he? He had a comeback with Franklin, Hellenius. He also beat Otto Wallin and then Ngannou, the MMA fighter. Then 4 fights really flattered AJ, but never really tested him. He was never put under the cosh. He was never having to fight in there really with anybody that was coming in swinging, trying to take him out. The minute he steps in with somebody that was lively, with a pulse, that was trying to do him, what happened to him? He got flattened. And to me, that was the end of him. He got dropped in round 1 by Dubois. He got finished off in round 5, bad. And I don't think he will ever recover from that. I think AJ's finished. I honestly think he's finished and done. And the only fight potentially for him is the Fury fight. Forget rematching Usyk, forget Daniel Dubois again, because we know what's going to happen, we've already seen it. But the fight with Fury is safe enough because Fury probably would struggle to knock him out with one punch. I'm not saying he can't do that, he probably can. But that's a fight that I would probably say, you know what, if you're going to come out of retirement, I know Anthony Joshua's not retired, but if Fury's going to come out of retirement, that makes sense for Fury, because for me, it's a fucking easy win. I'm not being horrible. Tyson Fury, for me, runs rings around Anthony Joshua. AJ's got no confidence. He got flattened in his last fight, and look at the form that Anthony Joshua has been on.
Roy Jones Jr., another boxing legend, gave a more measured take. He acknowledged the difficulties in choosing a winner between the two, stating that he respects both fighters. However, based on their respective performances against Usyk, Jones leaned slightly toward Fury. He highlighted Fury's ability to make mid-fight adjustments and stay competitive, something he felt Joshua failed to do in his 2 defeats to the Ukrainian champion. Still, Jones reminded everyone that Joshua remains dangerous due to his power. A clean shot from AJ, and anything could happen.
Then the next fight the people in the UK want to see, I think, will be Fury versus Joshua for Joshua's title. And that's a fight that's, to me, it's a 50-50. You pick them.
Usyk himself, the man who beat both Fury and Joshua, was asked who he'd back if the two ever fought. Interestingly, he gave a slight edge to Joshua, suggesting the former Olympic gold medalist might pull off a win on points. It was a surprising choice for some, considering Usyk's own more dominant wins over Joshua compared to his hard-fought decisions over Fury, but as someone who's shared the ring with both, his perspective carries weight.
The British fans will want to know you did 24 rounds with Tyson Fury, 24 rounds with Anthony Joshua. Which 24 rounds were harder together?
Tyson Fury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody wants them to fight each other. Who do you think is the favorite if they fight each other now?
Yeah. Maybe.
Amir Khan also offered his thoughts, saying he'd like to see Fury take on a tune-up fight before facing Joshua. Drawing from his own experience dealing with mental setbacks after losses, Khan suggested that Fury may need to rebuild his confidence before stepping into such a high-stakes contest. Still, he believes that if Fury is mentally sharp, he beats Joshua all day long. However, given their recent form, Khan now sees the bout as a 50-50 affair, a far cry from the one-sided prediction he might have given in the past.
You spoke about the hunger goes from fighters and that there's no need to fight anymore. I have to ask you as a question, not as just a former fighter, but also as a fan of the sport. Do you believe Tyson Fury is done with the sport, and do you still have any hope that we can see the big fight between Fury and Joshua one day?
I hope we do get to see it, but like I said, hunger is, when that hunger goes in boxing, you might as well call it a day. If he feels that hunger's not there anymore, he needs to walk away. He's made a ton of money with the Saudi deal and everything else, and I'm the one, I know how much money it was for, because I'm the one that broke that deal for them. You know what I mean? I took Yella Sheikh, approached me, then obviously I approached Spence and got the deal done for them. But the thing is, if Tyson feels even one bit that he doesn't need to be in there, don't do it, because like I said, if your heart's not in it, you get in trouble.
Ben Davison, who has trained both Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury at different stages of their careers, shared his perspective on the long-discussed heavyweight clash. Now part of Joshua's corner, Davison appeared more confident than ever that the long-anticipated showdown is on the horizon. Drawing from his inside knowledge of both fighters, he suggested that the climate is more favorable now than it has ever been. A key factor in his view is the emergence of the Riyadh Season Project, which he believes could serve as the perfect platform to finally bring both men into the ring. Davison feels the stars are aligning and that a bout between Joshua and Fury is not just possible but inevitable in the near future.
When the public said don't take that fight, he took that fight. So I think that's never in question with him. I think that the land can change very quickly. He's in a position at the moment where he's getting himself right and ready to get back into full training. He's not quite in full training yet. And when that comes, he'll see how the land lies. But like I say, I think that's one thing with AJ. You can never look and go, oh, handpicking that one, handpicking that one.
Meanwhile, Dillian Whyte remained on the fence when asked to weigh in on who would come out on top in a potential Fury versus Joshua bout. Having observed both fighters closely, Whyte admitted it's almost impossible to confidently predict a winner. He pointed to the many variables that make the matchup so intriguing and difficult to call, noting that even boxing purists would struggle to pick a side. His refusal to make a direct prediction only reinforces the level of uncertainty and competitiveness that surrounds the fight.
Struggling to pick one in that fight, man, because it's very hard to pick, say this guy's gonna win, this guy's gonna win. You can make a case of both guys, but I think it's 50-50 match, I think, you know.
Vladimir Klitschko, who has faced both Fury and Joshua in the ring, has no doubts about who would emerge victorious. Klitschko believes that Joshua has the edge over Fury, citing his all-around capabilities as the key factor. He praises Joshua for his technical skills, size, power, and ability to learn and adapt in the ring. However, Klitschko is less confident about Fury's ability to sustain success. He suggests that Fury's lack of discipline, which he describes as a weakness in the long term, would ultimately hinder him against a more disciplined fighter like Joshua. He stated, "Hands down Joshua, he is getting to be the complete fighter, technically, size-wise, weight-wise, power-wise, and he is a good learner. The other guy, Fury, like a fart in the wind, is there, and it is gone. In the history of boxing, there are a lot of examples of this kind of guy. They can be successful for a time, but are not disciplined enough to continue to be successful. I wish Tyson well, but I think there is a lack of discipline there, and discipline is more important than motivation." As of now, Fury has yet to make any formal comeback announcement, though his training sessions and cryptic social media hints suggest he's not entirely done. Promoter Frank Warren dismissed talk of a comeback as Fury having fun, stating that no official discussions have taken place. He added that the decision lies solely with Fury and that he won't try to persuade him either way. Meanwhile, Joshua's camp remains focused. Hearn reiterated that AJ will return to action in 2025, whether or not Fury is his opponent. With the heavyweight division currently wide open and no world titles directly tying down either fighter, the bout could come together more easily than ever before. There's no question the hunger for the fight is still there, not just among fans, but within the boxing community itself.
Then the reality kicks in, and the bottom line is that both of them aren't in their prime, but if they both want to do it, it's not going to be for the money. They both have enough money never to have to do anything again.
Agreed.
And their subsequent generations will never have to work. So although they're going to get
Although you can spend 100 million quid, I'm living proof.
Just don't buy a football club.
but the money isn't the reason. The money isn't the reason to make the fight. The reason to make the fight now is over the years they probably both overplayed their positions when talking about making that fight. There was always a bit of one-upmanship that one had the advantage, then the other had the advantage at the negotiating table. But while that was going on, they were still making this phenomenal amount of money elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, well now that well has dried up a little bit and we're left talking about, are they going to fight? Past their sell-by date, possibly, but still in an immense event that's going to generate significant money, certainly enough for them to be happy with, and go and have more experience, develop your legacy, and actually see, were you the better one or was he?
While Fury may claim he's retired, the landscape is shifting quickly. Joshua is healing and preparing, and interest from major promoters and former champions continues to grow. Whether it's Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., Amir Khan, or Alexander Usyk, the message is consistent. The world still wants to see Joshua versus Fury. Whether it ends up being for legacy, pride, or just a massive payday, the fight remains tantalizingly close. And if Fury does come out of retirement one more time, Anthony Joshua will be waiting. According to his team, they're ready whenever Fury is, and this time they believe the ball is firmly in the Gypsy King's court.